Hello everyone, this is Helios Raven. I tell you how I do it, even if you don't care. And we're continuing our in-depth look on our videos with the rules for Battlefleet Gothic Basics. Today we're going to talk about basic movement. Now, we've already gotten our ships picked out. We've written them all down in our fleet registry sheet, and we've wrote down their leaderships, their armaments, their HPs, if they have any special things going on them or anything like that. We've decided who's going first in our game, we've decided what our mission base is, we've set up our terrain board, and so we're up to the first part of the game, which is your movement phase. Now, the movement phase is broken up into 4 pieces. Choose a ship, give it any special orders if you wish to, and move that ship to its maximum distance, and then choose another ship. Keep in mind, each ship can only have 1 special order on it at any given time, and I've placed in the description of this video a list of all the special orders and what they do. Also, keep a note in mind that the brace for impact roll is the only one that's not done during the beginning of your movement phase. And so, there are 3 types of ships that we're going to talk about, which is the escorts, the cruisers, and the battleships. And for all basicness, they run basically the same. What you would do is, let's just go, for example, we're going to go with this little guy right here in the front here. Let me bring it down. And what you would do is you would first move him. You would choose the ship to move. We're going to choose that little Firestorm class escort. Now, the thing is with all movement distance, each ship that's moving, well, basically each ship has to move. Unless you do the burn retro special order, they all have to move their maximum distance forward. So, like for the Firestorm has a max speed of 25 centimeters. So we would take our tape measure, find the 25 centimeter mark, bring it to the stem of the flight stand of the ship, and then move the ship. It's up to half its distance. Sorry, you have to move the vessel at least to a minimum distance of half its maximum speed forward. So you don't have to move at its full max speed, but you have to move at least half of their speed unless they use the burn retro special orders. This is supposed to describe, inertia and, moving force, and how it can put a lot of strain on the vessel, so it has to basically constantly be in motion, with the exception of some races. And so so that's how you would do it. You would move your vessel in that way. Now, turning. You're allowed 1 turn unless you use the come to a new heading special order during your movement. But each ship has a minimum move speed that they have to go before they can make their turn. Escorts can do it at any point of their turn that they feel like. They can do it before they move, halfway, partway, whatever you want. They don't have any special rule dictating when they can and can't make their turns. Cruisers have to move a minimum of 10 centimeters before they can execute a turn, and battleships have to move a minimum of 15 centimeters before they can execute a turn. This is to basically represent their bulk of their size and how much momentum, how much driving force they get in front of them before they're able to actually execute that turn. And the way it would be done is by taking your tape measure, and let's just first say we're going to go with the Dictator class cruiser that we got right here, and he's got a move speed of 20 centimeters, and he has turns of 45 degrees. So, what we would do is move the vessel up 10 centimeters. Okay, and since we need to move at least a minimum of 10 centimeters, we'll bring up the 10 centimeter mark, which is right there. Bring it to the stem of the vessel, and then move him 10 centimeters forward. Okay, and then we can execute our turn. Now, the way you execute a turn is you need to first find out what their turn radius is, which for this ship is 45 degrees. Now, normally what I do is I actually paint what's called a bearing compass on my flight stands, and the way I do this is on the printed out sheet of the bearing compass. It has a small tiny cross in the center of it, and I just line the thing up like that and then paint it on right there. But you don't need to do that to actually get the bearing compass on. What you can do is you could just print out that sheet itself and put up and use it like so. This is how So you would take your bearing compass like this, and you would place it over the center of the vessel. And you see now, we use the 45-degree mark, which is right there or right there, but I'm going to have them turn this way. So I would take it and then line it so the nose of the ship, basically I want to be able to draw, basically think of like a compass point on the top of the ship, and you want that compass point to match up with the bearing compass's 45-degree turn. And then, since we moved 10 centimeters, he has 10 centimeters left, and then we would take the tape measure, bring the 10 centimeter mark up to his base stand, and then we would move him again is 10 centimeters. And that would be it. Whoops, he fell. And then I've executed a proper turn for this lunar class vessel. And so now, one thing that has to be discussed before I move on is giving special orders to your vessel. Now, let's just say, for example, this ship I want to put on come to a new heading special rule. And let's just say, for argument, that his leadership is 8. So I would take 2d6, and I would roll them, like so. Alright, don't know if you can see, but it's a 5, a 6, and a 7. So he passes his leadership check to come to a new heading. So what I can do then is the special order allows me to have to first move my minimum 10 centimeters. So I get my ship and move him his 10 centimeters forward. Okay, then I would execute my turn, which we're going to do in the opposite direction first. So let's just say so then like an asteroid field is right in my way and I don't want to hit it. So I go, turn like that. Then, now all red restrictions for turning in the second turn apply, so to make my second turn, I have to move 10 centimeters to get that second turn to be allowed in. So I'd get there, and then move him 10 centimeters forward. Then I'd take my bearing compass, this time lining it up with his new direction, and then turn him in the other direction. Now, this order is better used for, if you want to make a circle or something, but there, you just have a basic example of how, multiple turnings would be applied. And that is the basic idea for movement in the general sense. Now, again, like I said, with special orders, if the order failed, I could still move them and do everything I want to them, but this means I can't do any more special order command checks for the rest of my movement phase. And now, let's talk a quick little bit about 3D a little bit more. How I talked about how ships are, it's a 2D game on a 3D concept. Basically what I'm saying is like this ship right here. This ship in a more 2D environment is going to hit this guy. But because it's a 3D environment, we're supposed to just give the illusion and suspend disbelief and say that this ship either rose up to pass by it or went below and went under it. So basically what they're saying is if a ship is in your way, enemy or foe, enemy or friend, you don't have to go, oh crap, I have to turn around them, no, you can, as long as you have enough room to pass his close proximity, as long as you have enough room to pass by the base, I could be wrong on that, I'm just going off of what I've read in the rules and such, as long as you have enough room to pass his base, the ships can actually stay right there. You don't have to go around them. There's no crashing and no colliding. And sometimes when we get onto advanced rules, you kind of would like to be able to pass right through the ship itself. And that is the general gist. Once you've moved one ship, you then move on to the next ship. So let's just say, for example, I'm going to move him. I have no fancy special order that I want to do, so I'm going to move him his 20 centimeters. So I move him, and he's away. Then, phase 2, him. I want him to do burn retro, so I go. He's got a leadership of 10, let's just say. I pass, he burns retro, he doesn't move at all. And then I've got this guy here. I want him to move. Since he's an escort, he doesn't need any movement prior to his turning, so he's got a turn speed of 90 degrees, so bring the bearing compass over him, turn him 90 degrees, and move that way, his 20 centimeters. 25 centimeters. And that is basically all there is to the movement phase. And that's all I can think about to talk about for at least the basic steps on movement phase. If you have any questions regarding these rules or any situations that I seem to have forgotten to mention or just didn't think about when I was doing this video, please just write a comment and I will answer any question to clarify what I've talked about in this video. And that is basically it for the movement phase in Battlefleet Gothic, and until next time, this is Helios Raven, signing off.